Divisional Round Power Rankings. Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon Perna, and I hate to admit it, but I think I know which team is the hungriest for Super Bowl success. The Chiefs and Andy Reid.
If you like chocolate cake and you eat a piece and then you have one dangled in front of your face, you're probably going to want to eat that too. Not much is going to stop you. So, I mean, that's how you feel about the Super Bowl. I mean, that is the chocolate cake with the ultimate frosting. And you need to, you're going to try to go get it if you can.
Damn you, Andy. Damn you. Why can't I hate you? Andy Reid is only a great coach because he envisions the playoffs and the Super Bowl as food. It's why Bill Belichick has failed recently. All of that smiling and laughing and happiness has stopped Bill from envisioning each round of the playoffs as genocide for baby animals. And Bill was not preventing those deaths. Oh, he was responsible for them in his imagination. Jimmy Garoppolo, of course, envisions each round as a more clear mirror for him to look at himself in. And Aaron Rodgers, a new holiday to scorn his family on. Today, I will rank the powers of the divisional round teams for the playoffs, and we will spin the curse wheel at the end of the episode, although I believe the curse powers are as useless as Belichick's. That's good sports. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and please let me know which dessert you envision the Super Bowl as. I do have Big Dick Patreon shoutouts for new patrons. Phantasm ASMR upping to 1212. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel for all of your ASMR needs. Broncos Slayer, Go Bucks 420 69 531 Boob, I'm assuming. You hit up all the numbers there, buddy. Dylan Kennedy, Jeremy McLeod, Grant upping to 10, and Matthew Byham. Patreon.com/thatsgoodsports. That's a great way to support this channel. For all $10 patrons, we do a monthly Zoom meeting. That'll be happening in the next week or two. I'll put the info on Patreon. So appreciate the support. I appreciate the support. God knows I need it. All right, number 8, rank of power, the 49ers. Sorry, San Francisco. The 23 points scored on Sunday was the fewest by a winning team this weekend, which frankly makes me sick. You think 23 points will get the job done against the Packers? The main reason I put you at 8 though, San Francisco, was your inability to close out the game against the Cowboys. You had them on the ropes and you could not land the knockout punch. I thought that game was over like 3 different times, and you just kept making mistakes. But here's the real issue for me. Jimmy Garoppolo now has a shoulder sprain in his throwing shoulder. It's a slight sprain, but Garoppolo is just slightly a good QB. I know he's tough as hell, but now he has a shoulder issue on top of his hand injury, and both are in the arm he uses to throw. A little concerning. Plus, there's no guarantee that Nick Bosa clears concussion protocol this week, and if you don't have him to pressure Rodgers, I think you're the weak link in this group. Plus, we'll have to see if Kyle Juszczyk clears COVID protocols after he was quarantined to a hazmat tank where the world watched him puke green bile as he fought off the Rona. Nothing gets kids excited for football like seeing a fullback slimed. Now defensively, I'm definitely worried about the Niners' ability to cover Devontae Adams, who's put up 618 yards and 5 touchdowns in 5 games against the 49ers. And it's going to be even harder if Nick Bosa and Fred Warner can't go, although Warner said he's all right. That said, Eric Armstead stepped up last week with a 16% pressure rate against the Cowboys. Gonna need more of that against Rodgers. Number 7, I've got the Bengals. Cincinnati, I love your offense. I call it the Baby Chiefs or the Baby Bills offense. My fear, though, is your defense was a little exposed without Trey Hendrickson. Trey may come back from a concussion this week, but if he can't go, I believe A.J. Brown and Julio Jones will have big games with Tannehill not being under duress. Like the 49ers with the Cowboys, you kind of let the Raiders hang around. And limiting Josh Jacobs to 83 yards is a very different task than trying to contain Derrick Henry, who may get 83 yards on a single series. That said, your offensive line put together one of the better performances of the year. Max Crosby had just 1 sack, and the line allowed just 10 pressures according to Pro Football Focus. Basically the best blocking performance since the 41-10 routing of the Steelers you had back in November. Joe Burrow is playing really clean, crisp football right now. In his first 13 games, Burrow had 15 turnover-worthy plays per PFF. Since then, not a single turnover-worthy play in his last 4 starts, including last weekend against Las Vegas. Number 6, I've got the Titans. I know, I had the Titans ranked at number 2 last week. I gave you the courtesy power rank since you finished first in the AFC. You get Derrick Henry back, and we all know he's probably one of the most impactful players in the NFL. Here's my concern. Just because Henry is returning doesn't mean he'll be in full king form. It's a different injury, but it took Cam Akers 2 weeks to get comfortable in the backfield for the Rams. J.J. Watt came back from his injury and was a non-factor. Look, I want Derrick Henry to be full throttle, full metal jacket. I really, really do. I just think we are possibly overestimating even his ability to return from a devastating injury and be the same right away in a divisional playoff game. And I'm not sure I trust Ryan Tannehill to go toe-to-toe or deep ball to deep ball with Joe Burrow. Of course, this is the first time the Titans have earned a first-round bye since 2008, and they lost in the divisional round to a rookie Joe Flacco. This year, they have the lowest winning percentage of any 1 seed since the Raiders in 2002. Of course, that team went to the Super Bowl and then lost in hilarious fashion. Number 5, I've got the Rams. Matthew Stafford boasted the highest passer rating for a Rams QB in a playoff game ever. Never underestimate beating a division rival in the postseason, especially when it's done as decisively as the Rams did. Aaron Donald tried to choke DJ Humphries because apparently he was not satisfied with the music selection DJ was playing. And if you want to be number 1 next week in the rankings, Rams, all I ask is that Aaron Donald choke out Tom Brady. Show us what kind of madman you truly are and go after Tom, Aaron. Now, this regular season, LA put up just 99 rushing yards per game, which was 8th worst in the NFL. This last weekend, their 140 rushing yards was 3rd most. I think the Sony Michel / Cam Akers tandem is coming together at the perfect time. And hell, even Matthew Stafford moved the chains with his legs. By the end of Monday night, the Rams defense allowed just 11 points, the fewest of the weekend, and didn't even give up 200 yards of offense to the Cards, who averaged close to 370 per game this season. And frankly, after what the Rams did to the Cardinals, they kind of made the Eagles look like the more competent bird team. Number 4, the Buccaneers. Credit Tampa Bay for dominating Philadelphia. The thing that scares me now is that the Buccaneers got a decisive win without playoff Lenny, without Ronald Jones, without Tristan Wirfs, without Antonio Brown, without Chris Godwin, and without Tom Brady throwing the ball downfield. Brady did throw a 23-yard touchdown, but outside of that, the Bucs had 3 completions that were thrown over 10 yards. They diced up the Eagles with quick, short passes. And before you get mad at me thinking I'm trying to knock Tom Brady, I'm not. It was a good game plan. That is how you mitigate a strong defensive front that can get after you without blitzing. Now, I do see some trouble on the horizon for Tampa if Tristan Wirfs can't come back, and his status is currently up in the air right now. He might be useful against, Von Miller and Aaron Donald next weekend. Number 3, the Chiefs. Pop quiz, hot shot. Who is the Chiefs' second leading receiver on Sunday night? Travis Kelce was number 1. Was it Tyreek Hill, Demarcus Robinson, Byron Pringle, or McCole Hardman? Wrong. It was Kate McKinnon's cousin, Jarek. 6 receptions for 81 yards and a TD, plus 61 rushing yards. I swear to God, if the Chiefs end up playing the 49ers in the Super Bowl and Andy Reid uses Jarek McKinnon to destroy Kyle Shanahan, my head will explode. The 49ers were patient enough to pay and stick with McKinnon through 2 seasons where he did not take a snap due to injury. Hell, he produced 6 touchdowns in 2020 for the Niners before they decided to part ways with him. Kansas City scooped him up, didn't use him all year, and then unleashed him after an injury to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now McKinnon, I think, gives Andy Reid that Brian Westbrook type dual threat back in the backfield, and that should scare the hell out of any defense that has to play the Chiefs this postseason. Buffalo this weekend. But if I know Andy Reid, he will scheme a different player for the Bills game.
You have one dangled in front of your face, you're probably going to want to eat that too.
Especially since he watches this show and knows I just told the Bills what he might do. Number 2, it is the Bills. I love Josh Allen, but I'm not sure I trust his sense of humor.
1 out of 1 though. Yeah.
I give that joke a 2. 2 out of that's what I leave in the toilet, Josh. Now the Bills scored the most points on wildcard weekend at 47, ahead of even the Chiefs at 42. Also ahead of the Chiefs, the Bills throwing the first big man touchdown in their blowout win. The Bills did something I thought was impossible though when they scored a touchdown on each of their first 7 drives. 5 of those accumulating in Josh Allen TD passes with a couple Devin Singletary TDs sprinkled in. In a way, it shouldn't be surprising that the Bills are finally looking dominant. They had the best point differential in the NFL this season, and that's typically an indicator of success in the playoffs. Another indicator of success? Never having to fucking punt. Matt Hack was probably freezing his ass off on the sideline, never getting a chance to see the field. Now, to be honest, I should probably have the Bills at number 1 based on this last weekend's performance. A number 1 out of 1, though.
Yeah.
But I do have a couple questions. 1, can the Bills' defensive line generate the same amount of pressure against old Patty Mahomes as they did to the far less athletic Mac Jones? And will their offensive line be as dominant in blocking? They allowed just 6 pressures against one of the best defenses in the NFL, gave up 0 sacks. And I say yes they can, since Josh Allen hasn't been sacked since December 12th in a win against the Panthers. Also, in the Bills' first win against the Chiefs, Allen sacked 0 times. And number 1, it's still the Packers. The Green Bay Packers did not play, but they do have the best quarterback on earth in Aaron Rodgers. And in terms of the playoff QBs, the only one who came close to godlike this past weekend was Josh Allen. But as Tom Brady proved, last year you can throw 3 picks and still beat Aaron Rodgers, as long as you have a great defense. The question now for Green Bay is how impactful will Jair Alexander and Zadarius Smith be if they play this weekend? Those guys are tremendous, but again, coming back after prolonged absences due to injury, I have questions on how effective they will be. All right, let's spin the wheel to see who gets cursed. Last week, it cursed the 49ers. They won. The week before, it cursed the Titans. They won, so I don't know if this mother liquor even works. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, Tom Grossi. I'm sorry, Tom Grossi. I'm sorry if it does work. But as I mentioned to Tom, maybe the spin wheel's just guaranteeing a win at this point. Guaranteed a Titans win? Guaranteed a Niners win? Does it guarantee a Packers win? Don't shoot me, Packers fans. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I got a video on the screen if you want to watch more of my crap. And trust me, I produce a lot of crap here on YouTube. So much crap. My football videos suck. I hate myself.